Chapter 26. New Planet Satara, Mass-Produced Science. After Dr. Brief's examination, Odomote could only last less than a month. However, it would take at least 2 months to travel from Earth to the artificial Scion planet, and the spacecraft had to be modified. There was simply not enough time. However, Dr. Brief is truly a genius. In just a few days, he created a device that can maintain Odomote's vitality. However, the device can only last for 5 months at most. If the problem is not resolved within 5 months, Odomote will really die. So with Dr. Brief's rush of work, the spacecraft was modified in just 1 week. Vegeta and Goku set out on their journey to the artificial Scion planet. 2 months passed, and Goku and Vegeta arrived at the planet of artificial Scions. As soon as they landed, they saw hundreds of Scions on the planet, and a battle began. After a while, just as Goku destroyed the last artificial Scion, Vegeta raised his own questions. Kakarot, something is wrong. These people are completely unconscious, and their fighting ability is not as strong as that Red Nay. Something seems to be wrong. Now that you put it that way, it seems to be true. It took the two of them 30 minutes to travel around the entire planet and finally found a video in a ruin. What was recorded inside was exactly the content of Odomote's birth, and all of Odomote's experimental data were placed on the table. But there was no sign of other Scions. There was no choice but to return to Earth. Just before boarding the spaceship, Goku suddenly thought of asking King Kai to help find the location of the artificial Scion, so after saying hello to Vegeta, he teleported directly to King Kai's planet. The previous North Kai planet has been bombed, and the current North Kai planet was given to North King Kai by God Kai. With the help of King Kai of the North, Goku successfully found the location of the artificial Scion and returned to Vegeta. Since the food on their spaceship had been almost consumed, they had no choice but to return to Earth on the spaceship. After returning to Earth, Odomote's health has been getting worse and worse. One night, Odomote suddenly woke up, and with lifeless eyes he came to the spaceship he took when he came to Earth before. When Gohan got up at night, he found that Odomote was missing, so he immediately started looking for him. Finally, Odomote was found at the place where the two had first met. At this time, Odomote had already got into the spaceship, and just as the hatch was closing, Gohan rushed in. The spaceship started up and flew towards an unknown direction. 5 days later, the spacecraft landed in a place with an environment similar to that of planet Vegeta. Odomote had fainted long ago, and Gohan survived for 5 days using the nutrient solution provided by the space capsule. After getting off the spaceship, Son Gohan saw a bald Scion. He ignored Gohan, walked up to him, picked up Odomote and was about to leave. Seeing this, Gohan directly hit the bald Scion and knocked him to the ground. The bald Scion turned his head and looked at Gohan, saying viciously, "Boy, stay out of other people's business. This is none of your business, or I will send you to hell right now." At this time, Odomote woke up for some reason and found himself in an unfamiliar environment, looking confused. Then he saw Gohan confronting a bald Scion, so he went up to him and asked, "Gohan, what happened? Why am I here? Who is he?" "Number 1. You're awake," the bald Scion said in surprise. "Odomote, you're awake. Do you feel unwell?" Gohan asked happily after seeing Odomote wake up. "I'm fine, let's not talk about this for now. Gohan, where is this place? Why did he call me number 1? I don't know where this is either. He should be an artificial Scion like you." "What? He is also an artificial Scion." "Impossible, I destroyed all the information at that time, how could there be an artificial Scion?" "Number 1, let me tell you. You did destroy all the data at that time. Maybe you didn't expect there was a basement. After you left, number 2 was born. He is the king of the planet we are looking for Enyeto. This planet is called the new home of the Scions planet Shadara. But soon, we discovered that the artificial Scion had a flaw, and this flaw was the most fatal to us. But the king found a way to solve this flaw, and you are yourselves. But the king sent Red Nay to Earth to bring you back. Unexpectedly, that idiot died on Earth. The king had no choice but to use the half-installed controller that the Zivil people had installed for you to bring you back." Chapter 27. After the bald Scion explained everything, Gohan's anger had reached its peak. Then he rushed forward and punched the bald Scion. Puff! Gohan's fist went straight through the bald Scion's body. Gohan said to the bald Scion in shock, "Odomote is my family. I am not a hero fighting crime, nor am I a student. I am son Gohan who is here to protect my family. Gohan, thank you for taking care of me while I was unconscious, but I'm furious now, let's go together. The two of them came to the palace built by the artificial scions. The second artificial scion, Enyeto, was waiting for the two in the palace. This scion palace is built like a tower, with a total of 10 floors. Enyeto is at the top floor, and there is a general guarding each floor. Otomote and Gohan arrived in front of the tower, where dozens of artificial scions were waiting in front of the door. As soon as they saw the two people coming, all the artificial scions swarmed over and surrounded them. Gohan and Otomoto did not show any fear at all, but were full of fighting spirit. One of the artificial scions said, "The king said that whoever can capture number 1 will be promoted to a superior warrior without any conditions." After hearing this, all the artificial scions went crazy and attacked Gohan and Otomoto. Gohan rushed forward, while Otomote stood still gathering the key bullet in his hand. The war is about to start. Boom! Otomoto threw the gas bomb out, and just one gas bomb killed 1/3 of the people. Gohan kicked a person away, then shot out a magic flash in the direction of the kick. After a while, a raging fire broke out on the battlefield. Gohan and Otomoto slowly walked out of the fire with extremely angry expressions on their faces. When they arrived at the entrance of the tower, there was a bald scion in front of the entrance. Unlike the man Gohan killed, his body was not as strong as the previous one, but his aura was much stronger than the previous scion. Gohan was about to attack, but Otomoto stopped him and said, "Leave this to me." After saying that, he walked straight up to confront the bald scion. Although the bald scion's aura was very strong, it was not even half of Otomoto's, so Otomoto increased his own aura to the maximum. The bald scion on the opposite side gradually changed from his previous disdain to fear after feeling the overwhelming pressure. Bang! Otomoto made a move and punched the bald scion in the stomach. The bald scion fell to the ground, holding his stomach, and kept saying, "Impossible. I saw it in the experimental materials. Your strength is at most a little higher than Redne. Why are you so strong? Nothing is impossible. People have infinite possibilities. As long as you work hard, even a loser can surpass a genius." Gohan stepped forward and said, "Okay, stop talking nonsense and tell us where is that Enyeto." "Ha ha ha ha, number 1, the king's strength is unmatched, not even you. He's waiting for you at the top floor. And there is a powerful warrior on each floor here. It is absolutely impossible for you to see the king alive. Ha 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 ha. Number 1, once you are dead we will attack Earth, and then we will restore the glory of the scions." When Otomoto heard the last sentence, he became furious and started to attack the bald scion. In the end, the bald scion was beaten to death. Gohan and Otomoto entered the tower. Before entering, Otomoto said to Gohan, "Gohan, do you think this Enyeto really likes playing games? Why did he find a place to do something like a game? Who knows? But he's going to be done soon." When they entered the first floor, they saw a burly scion waiting for them. "Gohan, be careful, he's different from the ones we met before, he's very strong. Let's go together, both of us. You're quite boastful, come on Gohan." Both of them attacked the huge scion at the same time. But as the fight went on, Gohan felt his strength gradually draining away. Otomoto didn't feel anything at all. Chapter 28. Just as Gohan was wondering, the scion's fist was approaching Gohan. Otomoto had no time to intercept, so he could only yell, "Gohan, get out of the way." Son Gohan also saw the figure of the scion, but it was too late to hide. Just when Son Gohan was thinking, "Oh no," the fist stopped in front of Gohan. The scion said, "You are not an artificial scion. The environment here is not suitable for you to fight. Leave here." Gohan was stunned because everyone on this planet wanted to kill them, and this scion who said he wanted to let him go seemed different from the others. Gohan quickly asked, "Why did you let me go? I won't take advantage of others. I just want a fair fight. This place has been transformed by the king. Anyone who is not an artificial scion will have their power drained away, so you better leave here." "Gohan, you need to leave here first. Leave this battle to me." "No, I want to fight with you." "No, he's a worthy opponent, I want to fight him one-on-one. Then I'll wait for you over there." After saying that, he stepped aside. Otomoto and the scion were facing each other, and Otomoto said, "You are a worthy opponent. Now, I will fight you with all my strength. I couldn't ask for more." As a proud Scion warrior, I hope you won't hold back. Tell me your name. Bins. I remember that. I'm going to do it then. After saying this, Otomoto immediately transformed into Super Saiyan 2. When Bins saw this, he was slightly surprised, and then he immediately increased his aura to his strongest level. The two men collided directly, and the battle was not as intense as that against Majin Buu. On the contrary, the battle was basically a matter of one move. The fighting power of Otomoto after his transformation was simply not something Bins could contend with, so Otomoto killed Bins instantly with one move. Bins was knocked to the ground, but he did not scream or shout. Instead, his expression was unusually calm. Ha 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 ha, number 1, you are truly powerful. I accept defeat with all my heart. You are a proud Scion warrior, and if we were not enemies, I would like to fight you again. There is a device over there. Wearing it on your body can slow down the absorption of power by this tower. Here it is for you. Otomoto found the device where Bins said it was, and went up to the second floor with Son Gohan. After the two of them left, a masked man came in front of Bins, and then killed Bins directly in front of Bins' surprised eyes. The second floor is a little different from the first floor. There is almost no light here, and you can only see a little bit of the road with the faint light of the fire. Just when the two were wondering, Otomoto was suddenly slashed on the back and fell to the ground. Seeing this, Gohan immediately became alert. He he he. A burst of laughter suddenly came from all directions. Even using chi sensing, Gohan couldn't find his exact location. Otomoto stood up from the ground and said, "Who? If you have the guts, come out and fight us openly. Do you think I would be the same as that idiot Bins? I am not suited to head-on confrontations. I only know how to use strategies." A sinister voice came. Gohan whispered to Otomoto, "You are injured and can't fight now. Leave it to me. Just protect yourself." "Well, I leave it to you." Son Gohan directly turned into a Super Saiyan and intended to light up the entire room, but for some reason, the light emitted by the Super Saiyan could only illuminate an area within 2 meters of itself. "What is this thing that glows?" Gohan didn't answer, and the insidious guy got a little angry, so he went straight behind Son Gohan. The sinister man condensed the same air sword in his hand as Vegeto's, intending to kill Gohan directly. Just when he was about to attack, Gohan did a roundhouse kick and knocked the guy to the ground. The guy said in horror, "It's impossible, no one can see anything in the dark except me. You may be able to disrupt your own aura, but my aura can tell me your exact location. You are also a Scion. You actually use such a trick to deceive people. You are not worthy of being a Scion at all. Don't tell me that, okay?" Bins on the first level, although his fighting ability is stronger than mine, he is so stubborn that he insists on having an open and honest fight, and even calls it the pride of the Scions. It's really ridiculous. As long as he can win, it doesn't matter whether it is fair or not. Chapter 29. When Otomoto heard the Scion insult Bins' pride, he couldn't stop the murderous intent in his eyes. Gohan said, "You don't understand the pride of the Scions. The pride of the Scions embodied by my father and Uncle Vegeta has influenced me all the time. They will never give up no matter what difficulties they encounter. The pride of the Scions is not to fight or to win, but to accept their own nature and to carry through their own beliefs. Bins has achieved this. And what you have done has completely brought shame to the Scion race. You have given up your pride and completely turned into a walking corpse who will do anything to win. You are not worthy of being a Scion at all. Anyone can say nice things, but haven't you given up your Scion pride yourself? I know, so I said that I am fighting you as an Earthling now. I am fighting you with the pride of both Scions and Earthlings. No matter what difficulties an Earthling encounters, they will move forward bravely, and Scions fight with their own beliefs. I am the child of an Earthling and a Scion, and I carry the pride of an Earthling. Carry out your own beliefs," the Scion said in a low voice. Since he had always believed that winning was the most important thing, Son Gohan's words now overturned everything he had done before. The Scion sat on the ground with lifeless eyes. Otomoto and Gohan ignored him and walked straight to the third floor. Inside the third floor, unlike the previous ones, the person inside was not a Scion, but a Namekian. Otomoto and Gohan were shocked to see that the third floor was inhabited by Namekians, because Namekians are generally a peace-loving race, and their aura is righteous, but the Namekians in front of them were full of evil. "Gohan, this guy doesn't seem to be an ordinary Namekian. The evil energy in him is too strong." "Well, I felt it. My intuition told me that he is not a good person. The Namekian slowly stood up and said to Gohan and Otomoto, I've been waiting for you for a long time. My name is Slug. As you can see, I'm a Namekian, so the tricks used to deal with scions won't work on me. Friendly reminder, Akira Toriyama didn't include the movie in the official history, so I arranged for Slug to guard the third floor. Aren't Namekians a peace-loving race? Why do you have so much evil energy? And why are you here? Gohan asked. That's a good question. I was born an evil Namekian. When I was traveling in the universe, a scion named Ahudo told me how to fulfill my wish. As long as I help him, he can help me find a new Namek. So here I am. I see. Otomote, let's go. Understand. The two of them rushed forward and launched an attack on Slag. Gohan first kicked Slug's left side with a whip kick, and then Otomoto came behind Slug and punched him. With only a bang sound, Slug used his body to take all the attacks from the two men, then grabbed Son Gohan's feet and threw him at Otomote. The two flew out together. Ha 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 ha, with your strength like this, you still want to fight me? You are so naive. Faced with Slag's ridicule, the two men laughed instead of getting angry. Gohan, it looks like we're being underestimated. In that case, let him see the power of a Super Saiyan. After saying that, the two of them transformed directly, and the golden light illuminated the entire third floor. Although the Super Saiyan's radiance was not very bright due to the influence of the second-level environment, now that they were free from restraint, the two of them went at full speed and increased their aura to the maximum. Slag had never seen such a scene before and was shocked. After a brief moment of distraction, Slag immediately reacted, turned defense into offense, and launched an attack on the two men. Gohan and Otomoto just stood there. Slug's attack was just like a tickle to them and did not cause any harm at all. Seeing that his attack was ineffective, Slag decided to use his ultimate move to kill the two men. Chapter 30. Slug opened his mouth, facing Gohan and Otomoto, and began to gather his energy. Otomoto felt that this move was very powerful, and even a Super Saiyan like him would be seriously injured, so he quickly said, Gohan, get out of the way. Before the two could react, Slag tied them up with his hands. Then, Slag fired a mouth cannon that directly hit the two of them. Ah! X2. In response to Slug's mouth cannon, Gohan and Otomoto let out loud screams. When the smoke cleared, both men were covered in wounds. Slag had already used up all his strength in that move, and now the remaining strength in his body was not enough to support him to use the move again. Although Gohan and Otomoto were both injured, these injuries did not have a particularly big impact on them, so they still had some strength left in their bodies. Slag also knew the situation of the two men, but he had a trick that he would not use unless it was absolutely necessary. Otomoto walked slowly towards Slag, and as he walked, he said, Your move was pretty good. It actually caused us all to suffer quite a bit of damage. But now, you've become a spent force. Prepare to die. Otomoto said this, and then began to condense energy bombs in his hands. Seeing this, Slug knew he couldn't escape, so he smiled and said, You know what? Enyato promised me that as long as he caught you, he would help me go back to Namek for revenge. They abandoned me because of my ideas. I knew that Namek was on the verge of destruction at that time, but they didn't listen to my advice to invade other planets. Not only that, they also drove me out of Namek. I wanted to take revenge, but Namek was destroyed by Frisia. Later I heard that Namek was rebuilt somewhere, but I didn't know where. Enyato said he could help me, so I agreed to him. But I didn't expect you to be so powerful. However, I still have a backup plan. After saying that, Slag took out a syringe and stabbed it into his neck. After a while, Slag's pupils disappeared, his body became larger than before, and then he began to attack Otomoto. Because of his injury and Slag's faster speed, Otomoto was directly knocked away by Slag. Gohan immediately transformed into Super Saiyan 2 and rushed forward. As a result, he was slapped back by Slag. Both of them suffered serious injuries, and with Slag taking drugs, their chances of winning were slim. At this time, Gohan slowly stood up and his aura changed. Although he did not become a Super Saiyan, his aura was stronger than when he transformed into a Super Saiyan. Otomoto knew that Gohan had transformed into the form of Mystic Gohan, because only this form could reach Slug. Slug is now unconscious and has become a monster that only knows how to destroy. And because he wants to destroy Namek, there is no way Gohan will show mercy. The battle was about to break out, and Slug attacked Gohan fiercely, but because Gohan was faster than him, Slug couldn't even touch the corner of Gohan's clothes. On the other hand, Son Gohan was at ease throughout the whole process, and he kept dodging while looking for Slug's weakest spot, ready to kill him with one blow. Finally, when Slug was gathering his energy on his hands, Gohan flashed in front of Slug and punched him in the stomach. The aura gathered in Slug's hands all dissipated, and his entire body fell to the ground, unable to move. Gohan immediately condensed the energy wave and shot it directly at Slug. Magic Flash! With a boom, the magic flash hit Slug at close range, and Slug was beaten to ashes. After the two of them dealt with Slug, they collapsed to the ground. Gohan was so powerful that he had no problem breaking through the entire tower. There was a flash of unwillingness in Odamoto's eyes, and he thought to himself, Gohan is much stronger than me. Although this is fine, I also want to become stronger. I don't want to be protected by others all the time, no matter whether it is my father or Gohan, I must become stronger. Gohan didn't care about Odamoto's look at all, he just smiled to himself, at this rate, we will be able to reach the top floor soon, Odamoto, your defect will be restored soon. After hearing what Gohan said, Odamoto smiled slightly and said, yeah. With you here, we can get to the top floor in no time. But, can you please not help me on the next level and let me fight on my own? I want to break through my own limits. Chapter 31. Why? Can't you just solve the problem quickly? Gohan, you are much stronger than me. You can protect me by being by my side, but your dream is to become a scholar. Sooner or later, you will give up all this. So I want to become stronger. I want to protect your dream. Gohan wanted to say something else, but when he saw Odamoto's determined gaze, he immediately changed his words and said, I understand. So for the sake of my dream, please become stronger. The next game is up to you. Thank you, Gohan. On the fourth floor, a blue dwarf is stationed here. Gohan and Odamoto came to the fourth floor together. After seeing the two, the blue guy said, you are faster than I expected. It seems that you are quite strong. Who are you? Gohan asked. My name is Karak too, and I'm a demon. Like Slag, he appeared in the movie, and I didn't see him in the Dragon Ball comics, so I put him here. Gohan, I'll take care of this guy. Well, be careful. I feel that his strength is not strong, but the aura emanating from his body is very terrifying. I see. Hey. Karak, right? Come on, fight me and show me your strength. He, let me ask you one thing before the battle. How strong is the Namekian called Piccolo? Uncle Piccolo? What does this have to do with you? Come and fight me. 300 years ago, my father once fought with a Namekian for the throne of God, but the god at that time chose that Namekian and expelled my father. Now I am here for revenge. Revenge? Then you have to get past me first. Then come on. Odamoto transformed and rushed forward, then attacked Karak. Karak calmly dodged Odamoto's attack. Your strength is not bad, but your speed is too slow. Asshole, the battle should be fair. What's the point of hiding? Odamoto said unhappily. I know I'm not as strong as you, but I'm going to use my advantages. This is how I fight. How can you say I'm not fighting you fairly? Take advantage of my own strengths. My advantage is that I have a strong learning ability and grow very fast. I can defeat him just by observing his movements. Odamoto thought. Then Odamoto took a deep breath, closed his eyes and recalled Karak's previous actions. Suddenly, Odamoto opened his eyes and attacked Karak again. But this time was different from before. Karak's dodge route was basically predicted by Odamoto, but because Odamoto was a little slow, Odamoto's attack still did not hit Karak. Wow, it seems you know how to use your own advantages. Thank you for this. In that case, I will show you the difference between the two of us. After saying that, Karak directly released his own demonic energy. This evil energy makes people feel uncomfortable. Hey, this is my strength. Although it's not strong, but within this range, I am invincible. Have you used all your strength? If so, then watch carefully my transformation. After saying that, Odamoto began to increase his breath. Gohan was outside the range of the demonic energy, and because the demonic energy blocked the figures of both of them, Gohan could not see the scene inside at all. Just then, Gohan felt Otomote's aura growing stronger and reaching the critical point of Super Saiyan. Within the range of the demonic energy, Otomoto's aura continued to grow stronger, and finally, with Otomoto's shouts, he completed the transformation into Super Saiyan 2. Otomote's transformation was a little different from before. He no longer had the calm mind he had before, and the aura emanating from his body became extremely rapid. The flaws began to show. The flaw of the artificial Saiyan was that he couldn't stay calm, and his personality would become worse and worse as time went on. The next stage is to lose consciousness and become like the Saiyans on the planet that Goku and Vegeta went to before, like a walking corpse. In the end, he will lose his fighting ability and become a complete living dead. However, Otomoto has already begun to show his own flaws, and I am afraid that he will go out of control soon. Chapter 32. After transforming into Super Saiyan 2, Otomote has fallen into a semi-brutal state, and with the erosion of Carrick's demonic energy, this state has become worse and worse. If Carrick cannot be defeated in time, Otomoto may end up going berserk. It is now difficult for Otomoto to stay awake, and he himself understands this, so he uses all his strength and intends to end the battle quickly. Carrick felt Otomote's powerful aura and his expression became solemn, completely losing his previous relaxed state. Otomote launched a gas bomb attack directly at Carrick. Carrick kept dodging and counterattacking. As time passed, Otomoto's consciousness became more and more blurred. Suddenly, Carrick took advantage of Otomote's blurred consciousness and fired a gas bomb directly at Otomote's weak spot. Otomoto was knocked to the ground and also exited the Super Saiyan 2 state. Seeing this, Carrick retracted his magic energy and said to Otomote, "You are very powerful, but you are unable to exert your original strength now. If possible, I really don't want to kill you, but keeping you here will eventually become the biggest obstacle on my road to revenge, so goodbye." After saying that, he was about to kill Otomote directly. At this time, Gohan rushed up and shouted, "Stop!" and then kicked Carrick. Seeing this, Carrick stepped back and dodged. Gohan stood in front of Otomote. At this time, due to his defect, Otomote's consciousness was a little fuzzy and his body could not move. "Go, Gohan," Otomote called softly. "Otomoto, are you okay?" "Gohan, my body is weak and my mind is a little blurry." "Otomote, leave the rest to me. Just wait for my news." No, we agreed to let me do it. I'm a Saiyan, and Saiyans won't back down. You can take care of everything except him, but I want to defeat him myself." After saying that, Otomoto struggled to stand up. "Carrick, keep going. Even if it's not for passing this level, it's for Uncle Piccolo. Uncle Piccolo's strength is not as good as yours, but I can't let you go to Earth to kill Uncle Piccolo. What on earth makes you want to fight me regardless of your own health? Don't you know that you will die if you do this?" "I know, but Uncle Vegeta told me that although I am only an artificial Saiyan, I cannot forget the pride of the Saiyans. This is not only for the pride of the Saiyans, but also for my self-esteem as a Saiyan. Therefore, as long as there is no winner between the two of us, the fight between you and me will not stop." After saying that, Otomote rushed forward again. Carrick was completely at a loss as to what to do with Otomoto's actions at this time. "You Saiyans are all the same. You and Bins are all proud. That's why I'm fighting you here." Carrick said, "Okay, the road is right there. Go ahead. I won't stop you anymore." Why? Didn't you say you wanted revenge on Uncle Piccolo? If you don't kill us, we will definitely get in your way in the future." Gohan asked confused. "My father once told me about the hatred between him and Piccolo, but I never liked hatred as motivation. On the contrary, I like the feeling of fighting. I am like a martial arts fanatic. But I can't disobey my father's words, so I will definitely go to Earth and compete with this former god. And all that I said before was just to make you fight me with all your strength. Carrick, you are different from your father. You are a respectable man," said Otomoto. Then he and Gohan headed to the 5th floor. "I hope we will meet again. I will remember you, the proud Saiyan, Otomote. And also Piccolo's disciple son Gohan." Carrick said alone after the two left. On the 5th floor, there was again no Saiyan inside, but a man with turquoise skin, orange hair and a blue windbreaker. And in front of him, there are these 4 men. This man's name is Bojack. He was a thug who was sealed by the 4 kings for destroying the galaxy. Now, due to the death of the North King, the seal has been released. In the 7 years since King Kai's death, he had been sealed for so long that his strength was reduced to only 1/10 of what it was before. It took him 7 full years to recover. Chapter 33. Gohan and Otomote arrived at the 5th floor, and Bojack looked at the two with a smile. Otomote's body is no longer suitable for fighting, so the rest of the battle basically has to be handed over to Gohan. As Gohan got ready, Bojack sneered, "The Scions were once the overlords of the universe, but later became humble lackeys of Frisia's clan. I didn't expect there were still survivors. I thought there were only artificial Scions, but I didn't expect there were survivors who escaped from planet Vegeta. The history of the Scions is over. Now I am an Earthling who carries the pride of the Scions. You don't even want to acknowledge your Scion bloodline? You've really lost your race. My strength is not something you can contend with. If you know what's good for you, get out of here." Gohan said nothing and attacked Bojack directly. The 4 men in front of Bojack blocked all of Son Gohan's attacks. At this point, Gohan's strength has been greatly reduced due to his physical strength and injuries, and he can't even maintain the state of mystical Gohan. The main purpose of Bojack's men is not to destroy Son Gohan, but to continuously consume his physical strength. At this time, Gohan's physical strength had been consumed a lot. Bojack suddenly took action, flashed in front of Son Gohan, and punched Son Gohan in the abdomen. Son Gohan was caught off guard, and then Bojack kneed him and knocked him away. Son Gohan was knocked to the ground, and Otomoto saw this and shouted, "Gohan!" Then Otomoto dragged his heavy body and attacked Bojack. But given Otomoto's current condition, he couldn't beat Bojack, let alone one of Bojack's 4 men. The end result was that he was severely injured by Bojack. At this time, the two were already at the end of their strength. Gohan struggled to stand up, then came in front of Otomote and took a stance towards Bojack. Bojack laughed. "Is it worth it? He's just an artificial man. Besides, there are as many losers as him on this planet. You can just take one back with you. You don't understand anything." After saying this, Gohan attacked Bojack again. But this was undoubtedly a futile effort. Just as Bojack was about to kill Son Gohan, 2 figures appeared in front of Son Gohan. "Dad! Uncle Vegeta! Why are you here?" The visitors were none other than Son Goku and Vegeta. It turned out that after the two left, Goku and Chi-Chi searched for a long time. Because the two were in outer space at the time and Otomote was in a coma, their breath was extremely low. So Goku couldn't find the 2 people, and finally Goku found King Kai, and it happened that Bojack exuded a powerful aura, so Goku and Vegeta teleported here directly. "Gohan, you've done a great job. Leave the rest to me. Dad, this tower will absorb our aura. Only Otomote will not be affected. That Bojack should have the same thing as me. We must not destroy it." As he spoke, Gohan took out the device on his body and showed it to Goku and Vegeta. "Okay, I get it. Then, Vegeta, let's go together." After saying that, he transformed directly and launched an attack on Bojack. "Kakarot, don't give me orders." He said this, but still transformed and rushed forward. The main reason why Bojack was able to fight Gohan for so long was because of Gohan's injuries and his 4 subordinates who consumed Gohan's physical strength. Now, 2 Scions in peak condition attacked him at the same time, which was something he could not resist at all. In an instant, Bojack's 4 men were crushed to ashes by Vegeta's Gallic Cannon. He was also beaten by Goku and was finally defeated by one punch. Goku found the device on Bojack and put it on, while Vegeta took Gohan's device. After resolving the issues on the 5th floor, Goku gave the senzu beans to Gohan and Otomoto to eat. "How did you get here? And I don't think they are strong, so why are you getting into such a tough fight?" asked Goku. "They activated the control device in my body, but because my control device was incomplete, they didn't have much control over me. Before this, I almost went berserk, which caused my energy to be consumed too quickly. Coupled with the injuries on my body, my strength was greatly reduced, and I ended up like this." Chapter 34. Gohan explained everything to Vegeta and Goku said, "Don't worry, Gohan. We'll take care of the rest." Vegeta said at the side, "Otomoto, you haven't exercised enough. After the matter is resolved, you need to strengthen your exercise." Although Vegeta is indifferent to everything, Otomote is also considered half of his disciple. As the Prince of Scions, Vegeta has unspeakable feelings for all Scions, of course, except Goku. Several people came to the 6th floor, and surprisingly, there was no one guarding the 6th floor, and there was no one on the 7th and 8th floors. And inside the 9th floor, there was a female scion wearing shackles. The female scion had lifeless eyes, just like the controlled Otomote. As soon as the 4 of them arrived at the 9th floor, the female scion attacked Otomote. Several people were caught off guard, and Vegeta was the first to react, firing a gas bomb at the female scion. The female scion was directly knocked away. But the female scion seemed to have no reaction at all and continued to attack Otomote. Gohan noticed this and said to Goku, her reaction is as if she is controlled. She can't feel any pain at all. And it seems that her target is Otomote. We'll have to find a way to restrain her, Vegeta. Use the same trick you used on me before. Kakarot, I've told you many times, don't give me orders. Although Vegeta said this, he still used the binding skill that he used on Goku when he was controlled by Babadai. After controlling the female scion, Goku asked, "What's wrong with you? Why are you attacking us?" "Dad, I told you that he is being controlled. She can't hear anything you say." I forgot. Ha 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 ha. Now what? Let's go up first. Leave her alone for now. At this moment, the female scion broke free from her restraints and attacked Otomote. Otomote transformed directly and blasted it away. But that guy still kept attacking Otomote relentlessly, completely disregarding his own physical condition. Just as Otomote fought back at her, Otomote saw a line of tears flowing from the corner of her eyes. When Vegeta went forward and was about to kill him directly, Otomote shouted, "Wait a minute. Uncle Vegeta." Vegeta stopped the killing, turned around and knocked her out, then asked, "What are you doing? Why do you want me to stop?" "I saw her crying and she seemed to be in a very bad mood." "What did you say? Isn't she under control?" "But I can feel that she doesn't like to fight in her heart." "Maybe it's because she is controlled, so she has to fight." "Then what should we do?" "First find a way to control her, then we'll go up there and figure it out." While several people were talking, the female scion stood up again. Gohan stood in front and said, "You guys go ahead. Leave this to me." "Well, Gohan, be careful," Goku said before heading up to the final floor with Vegeta and Otomote. In the last floor, the scene here is completely different from the previous one. After seeing it, Vegeta immediately found that this place was exactly the same as the palace on planet Vegeta. On the throne, a man in combat uniform and a cloak slowly walked down. As he walked, he said, "You can come here with your flaws magnified. It seems that your strength is stronger than before. Are you Aodo, the artificial scion number 2? Tell me, besides using my cells, is there any way to completely erase this defect?" "I can tell you, but before that, I want to ask, is the guy on the 9th floor dead?" "Why do you ask?" "Let me tell you a secret. I am actually number 3, and the guy below is number 2. Everyone here has been fooled by me." "What? Why would you do that?" "The reason is simple, because she is not worthy of being a scion. She has great power, but she said she doesn't want to fight. Tell me, isn't this funny? As a scion, how can I not fight? So I controlled her and told all the artificial scions that I am the king." Chapter 35. Don't the scions exist to dominate the universe? And a scion like her who doesn't want to fight doesn't deserve to exist. You bastard! Otomote was enraged by Enyuto's words and transformed and rushed forward. Although Enyuto's strength has reached the level of a super scion, he is unable to transform into a super scion due to insufficient S cells in his body. Enyuto knew that he couldn't transform, so he turned on the control device directly. Although the control device in Otomote's body was incomplete, it was still affected. When he was about to attack Enyuto, Otomote directly exited the Super Saiyan state and was unable to exert his full strength. This caused the attacks on Enyuto to be weak and unable to cause any damage to him. Enyuto kicked it away, but Goku was quick to catch Otomote. Vegeta and Aodo confronted each other, and Otomote stood up from Goku's arms and said, "You are completely wrong. The Scions do not exist to dominate the universe. Although the Scions are a warlike nation, the purpose of the Scions' existence is the same as that of other people, which is for the balance of the universe. Once upon a time, the Scions were so powerful that no one in the entire universe could match them, so the Frisia clan appeared. Frisia's power caused the power of the universe to be unbalanced, so the Super Scions appeared. Ultimately, the existence of the Scions isn't that great at all, and we can choose to make our mundane existence meaningful. Maybe we are invincible now, but in the future there will definitely be stronger people. The above is all fabricated. The existence of Science was actually created by Akira Toriyama under the pressure of the editor-in-chief of Jump. Reading novels is just for fun, there is no need to be so serious. Ha 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 ha, nonsense, the existence of Science is to dominate the universe. If we can't dominate the universe, why were we born? Enyato was completely crazy and didn't believe what Otomote said at all. You are so stubborn, Kakarote. I'm going to attack you first. Just watch. Seeing that Ahudo was not going to listen to any advice, Vegeta turned into a Super Saiyan 2 and attacked Ahudo. Enyato retreated to the back of the throne as quickly as possible, and then opened a cage right before Vegeta stepped onto the throne. I'm waiting for you, the failed prince, Vegeta. You are not worthy of being the prince of the Science. I will deal with you after I make up for my shortcomings. When Vegeta in the cage heard Enyato humiliating him, he immediately burst his aura to the maximum, but after a while, Vegeta directly exited the Super Saiyan state. Vegeta, this cage was developed just to control you. It can absorb your power. Unless I open the cage, you will never be able to get out. After saying that, Enyato pressed another button, and an identical cage appeared under Goku's feet. You will also hinder me, so excuse me, I will deal with you after I make up for my flaws and successfully transform into a Super Saiyan. Otomoto heard that Enyato's purpose was not only to make up for the defects, but also to transform into a Super Saiyan, so he said to Enyato, your purpose is not only to make up for the defects, but also to transform into a legendary warrior. Yes, only Super Saiyans can unleash the full power of us Saiyans, so I want to see how you, who obviously has a defect, can transform into a Super Saiyan. Don't you know? To become a Super Saiyan, one needs to have a pure heart and be extremely angry to transform successfully. Said Goku. Absolutely impossible. How can an artificial Saiyan have a heart? The purpose of our creation is to dominate the universe. Super Saiyan can help me achieve this goal faster. You are still stubborn. In that case, I will beat you to wake you up. Otomote said, and immediately took a stance. Seeing this, Anyachuo also adopted the same posture. Suddenly, the two men attacked at the same time, and the fight became evenly matched. Gradually, Otomote began to fall into a disadvantage. Due to the control device, Otomote's full strength could not be fully exerted, so he began to lose. Chapter 36. Otomoto was unable to fully display his strength and was now completely suppressed by Enyato. Enyato mocked from the side, what's wrong? Aren't you a Super Saiyan? Why are you so embarrassed? Is this the limit of the legendary warrior's strength? Otomoto completely ignored Enyato's words, which made Enyato even more proud. At this time, Enyachuo had completely turned into a madman, and he attacked Otomote. Otomoto had been knocked to the ground. Ha 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 ha, stand up, Super Saiyan, let me see your strength. Enyato kicked Otomote's abdomen directly, one kick after another, speaking as he kicked. At this time, Enyato had gone completely insane, like a serial killer who had escaped from a mental hospital. Otomoto opened his eyes with difficulty and stared at Enyachuo fiercely. After seeing Otomoto's eyes, Enyato began to taunt again, what's wrong? Aren't you a Super Saiyan? Why do you have such a look? Enyato slowly squatted down, then grabbed Otomoto's hair and lifted him up. Snapped. Enyato fired a Kigong wave at Otomoto's abdomen, and then released his hand that was grabbing his hair. Otomoto lay on the ground, covering his wound and breathing heavily. Oh, sorry, my hand slipped. In that case, goodbye. Having said that, he planned to kill Otomote directly. At this moment, Otomoto suddenly laughed. When Enyato saw him laughing, the pleasure in his heart was completely gone. He immediately flew into a rage, and then he stepped directly on Otomoto's head and shouted angrily, asshole, don't laugh. I don't want to see your smile. I want to see your fear, pain, and unwillingness in your eyes. Ha 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 ha. Otomote ignored Enyato and continued laughing to himself. Enyato's rage intensified, and he attacked Otomote madly once again. Just after Enyato stopped, Otomote slowly stepped forward and took out the things in his hand. Enyato looked carefully and found that it was the remote control of the control device. It turned out that when Enyato grabbed Otomoto's hair, Otomoto had already quietly taken the remote control. However, at that time, Enyeto's attention was all on Otomoto, and he didn't notice Otomoto's actions at all. Enyeto, I don't know what this remote control is, but if I disable it, I'm afraid you'll be in big trouble. After saying that, Otomoto pressed the button directly. On the 9th floor, Gohan was still fighting with the female scion. Suddenly, the female scion fainted. Although Gohan felt strange, he still rushed to the 10th floor. On the 10th floor, Enyeto was mad at Otomoto's behavior, and started to kill Otomoto directly. At the critical moment, a figure stood in front of Otomoto and blocked all of Enyeto's attacks. Son Gohan appears. Enyeto didn't know how to sense energy, and had no idea that there was another person. Being disturbed by Son Gohan, he couldn't stop feeling angry. Gohan, be careful. He is different from the others. He is simply a madman. No need to hold back. Just go all out. Otomoto said weakly. Well, you take a rest first, and leave the rest to me. After saying that, Son Gohan transformed directly and launched a dimensionality reduction attack on Enyeto. The female scion on the 9th floor has woken up, and then felt the fluctuations on the 10th floor and rushed directly to the 10th floor. At this time, Enyeto had been stepped on by Gohan, and the whole process took less than 2 minutes. Is this the power of a super scion? Ha 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 ha. That's amazing. If I could obtain this power, no one in the entire universe would be my match. Enyeto has become completely obsessed with Super Saiyan. After the female scion came up, she saw the once invincible Enyeto being stepped on by someone, and she felt incredible. At this time, Otomoto saw her and asked, "Are you okay?" The female scion was startled. After she came to her senses, she said, "I'm fine, but your condition is much more serious than mine." "I'm fine." Otomoto said, "Enyeto has told you everything. You are being controlled, right?" "Well, I didn't want to fight, but Enyechuo kept forcing me. Finally, he got the remote control of the control device from somewhere, and I was controlled. Don't worry. With Gohan here, he won't be able to force you anymore." Chapter 37. Ha ha ha, you want to kill me? Maybe in the next life. Enyeto didn't know what he did, a spaceship wrapped him up and flew into the sky. At this time, in order not to waste energy, Goku and Vegeta sat quietly in the cage. After Enyeto escaped, the two were successfully freed from their cage. Just then, Gohan asked Goku, "Dad, why don't you just use instant teleportation?" I forgot." Ha 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 ha. Goku started laughing like an idiot again. "I will never tell you here that I forgot that Goku can teleport, absolutely not." Suddenly, a voice came over, "Oh no, Goku. That artificial scion is heading towards Earth." "What?" Goku said in shock. He went to Earth. Everyone present knew that Enyeto had gone to Earth, and they immediately felt that something was wrong. Goku said to King Kai, "Lord King Kai, can you help me contact Goten?" King Kai of the North connected a communication line between Son Goku and Son Goten. "Goten! Goten! Can you hear me?" At this time, Goten was being forced to study at home by Chi Chi, and suddenly he heard Goku's voice. "Dad? Where are you?" "Goten, don't talk about this for now. Go outside and increase your aura to its maximum." After hearing this, Goten ran directly into the yard and transformed into a Super Saiyan. After sensing Goten's breath, Goku used instant teleportation to bring everyone back to Earth, including the female scion. When Chi Chi saw Goten, he ran out directly. She thought that Goten was going out to play again, so she followed him. As a result, Goku's sudden appearance scared Chi Chi. When Chi Chi saw that Otomoto was covered with wounds and was about to turn into a bloody man, she directly scolded Goku. It took Goku and Chi Chi a long time to explain it clearly. At this moment, Chi Chi suddenly saw the female scion and asked directly, "Are you Otomoto's girlfriend?" This scene broke Otomoto's defense, and he said directly to Kikai, "Mom, she is not my girlfriend. Didn't I say that she was the one we rescued?" Finally, under Chi Kai's continuous strategy, the female scion revealed her name Liliku. Leak. After being informed by King Kai, everyone learned that Enyeto would arrive on Earth in about 5 days, but the exact location was not yet clear. Since Enyeto is still in space, Goku cannot intercept him directly, so he can only make preparations on Earth. 5 days passed quickly and Enyeto had landed on Earth. Fortunately, Enyeto landed on a deserted island, so Gaku and his friends could fight with all their strength. Enyu lifted the spaceship, and Gaku and others immediately prepared for battle. When several people saw Enyeto, they were all shocked. I saw that Enyeto looked very different from 5 days ago. His body was a circle larger than before, and the aura he exuded was mixed with a strong evil spirit, which was very terrifying. Enyeto also saw Gaku and the others. When he saw Otomote, he laughed out loud, ha 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 ha, number 1, you know what? I feel great now. The medicine left by the name Kian named Slug is really good. I'm afraid I'm a real Super Saiyan now. After hearing this, Otomoto said to Enyeto, I am not number 1. I am a Saiyan living on Earth. I don't care who you are or how you became a Super Saiyan. I just want to use your cells to make up for my flaws and then dominate the universe. You are so stubborn. Otomoto transformed into a Super Saiyan 2 and attacked Enyeto. At this time, due to the injection of a large amount of drugs, Enyeto's strength is already enough to compete with Super Saiyan 2 Otomoto. The two men fought from the sky to the sea, and then from the sea to the land, and the whole sky changed. Gaku wanted to go up to help, but was stopped by Vegeta. Vegeta, what do you want to do? Kakarot, this is a fight between the two of them, we can't interfere. Why? Saiyans are the most warlike race. That kid is fighting with all his might right now and enjoying the battle. We can't interfere with his fight. And he was taught by me. If he can't end this battle by himself, then his future will probably end here. Chapter 38. Otomoto was freed from his restraints and used all his strength to deliver a powerful blow to Enyechuo. After all, Enyechuo's strength was not the result of his own training, so although the two seemed evenly matched, in fact, Enyechuo was completely defeated by Otomote. At this moment, a golden light flew in front of the two of them. Hey, Super Warrior, here comes Lord Gotenks. The visitors were the two little kids who had already merged. Goten? Trunks? Why are you two here? Otomote asked in confusion. Hee. You guys are so despicable. There are such fun things happening here but you didn't even call me. Do you think that I, Lord Gotenks, can't beat him? Gotenks complained to Otomote. Then he turned around and pointed at Enyeto, is this the guy who made Brother Otomote faint? Since you have come to Earth, let me see your strength. After saying that, he was about to rush forward, but the fusion was immediately dissolved. Otomote said speechlessly, you two have already merged before you came. Although I am very grateful that you two can come to help me, you two should still go down. Although the two little kids were a little unhappy, they still came to Gaku and Vegeta obediently. Enyeto was very excited when he saw that one person suddenly became two people. Enyeto is a person who has complete trust in the things he imagines, almost to a pathological degree. Now that he saw the two little guys actually merged together, he began to imagine that these two little guys had some unspeakable secrets hidden in their bodies. Otomoto saw that Enyeto's attention was on the two little guys, so he shouted at Enyeto, hey! Are you still going to fight? Enyeto ignored them and went straight to the two little guys, intending to capture them and see how they merged together. As a result, he was beaten up by Gaku and Vegeta. Enyeto started to imagine again, thinking that only after he defeated Otomoto and obtained the method of transformation into a Super Saiyan, Gaku and Vegeta would not be his match. So he started fighting with Otomote again. It was already evening, because it was already afternoon when Enyeto arrived on Earth, so it was night soon. At this time, Enyeto had basically been hit by Otomothe's dimensionality reduction attack. Not giving up yet, Enyeto took out another tube of medicine from his arms and swallowed it directly. Ha 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 ha. Number 1, today is your doom, ha 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 ha. After saying this, he began to gather energy. Otomote suddenly felt something was wrong, as he saw Enyeto's body began to swell again. Unlike the enlargement, Enyeto's body was already on the verge of collapse. Enyeto fired a giant gas bomb directly at Otomote. The originally golden gas bomb had now completely turned black and was filled with evil energy. Upon seeing this, Otomote immediately began to gather his energy, then put his hands together and placed them at his waist. Turtle School Qi Gong. What? Otomote suddenly fired a Kamehameha, and a blue beam of light went towards the huge gas bomb. Otomote increased his speed immediately. After a while, the entire gas bomb dissipated, and Enyeto's body began to show strong side effects. Ha, ha 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 ha, I'm the strongest. Enyudo's expression was almost insane, and then he condensed a white ball of light and shot it directly into the sky. I saw the white ball of light slowly expanding and gradually turning into a moon. Otomote, who was confused at this moment, looked up at the sky and then lost consciousness. The same situation occurred in Enyuchuo. When Vegeta, who was on the ground, saw this, he shouted "Oh no!" and rushed forward. Gohan and Goku, father and son, also rushed forward at the same time, leaving only Goten and Trunks looking confused. What Enyudo launched into the sky was the artificial moon, and since Otomoto's tail was still there, Otomoto was also affected. After a while, two giant apes appeared on the battlefield, but the difference was that the giant ape that Otomote transformed into was completely unconscious and only knew how to destroy. And Enyudo had a clear goal, and he went straight towards Otomote. So this scene appeared. Two giant apes were fighting each other, without any dodging, and every punch hit the flesh. The scene was comparable to the Hollywood blockbuster Godzilla vs. King Kong. Chapter 39. Gohan and Goku hold Enyudo back while Vegeta looks for an opportunity to cut off Otomote's tail. However, at this time, Otomoto was in the state of Super Saiyan 2 and had transformed into an ape, so his combat power increased tenfold in the state of Super Saiyan 2, which made it impossible for Vegeta to get close to Otomoto at all. The purpose of Goku and Gohan is just to restrain Ahudo, and there are two of them, so the pressure is less than that on Vegeta's side. At this time, Krillin and Yamcha also rushed over from a distance. When they saw the two giant apes, bad memories instantly came to their minds. But he still went forward and asked Goku, "Goku, what happened here, why are there two giant apes?" The Scion we met on planet Shadera created an artificial moon, which resulted in Otomote and him becoming giant apes. It would be best to cut off Otomote's tail first. So the two of them joined the battle. Goku and Gohan restrained Enyudo, Yamcha attracted the frontal fire, Vegeta attracted hatred from the side, and Krillin killed him with one blow. After half an hour, Krillin cut off Otomoto's tail with a key slash, and then several people turned to deal with Enyudo. And Otomote was left in Gohan's care. Enyuchuo was different from Otomote. Although he was furious, he was not completely berserk. So when he saw so many people, his first reaction was to deal with the weak ones first. So he punched Yamcha and Krillin directly. Seeing this, Goku used instant teleportation to save the two of them, and then fought the enemy together with Vegeta. At this time, Otomote had changed back. After Goten and Trunks took out clothes for him to change into, Otomote said, "He is no longer our match now." Moreover, due to the stimulation of drugs and ape transformation, his strength is much stronger than Kid Buu. Moreover, I have consumed a lot of my physical strength, so there is only one way to defeat him. "You mean fusion?" said Krillin. "Yes, it's fusion." "What? You still have to rely on us, right?" "Goten," Trunks said and was about to merge with Goten. Otomoto said directly, "The power of the two of you is too weak. Even if you fuse, you are no match for him. The best way is for Dad to fuse with Uncle Vegeta." "Eh? Dad and the others fused? I've never seen it before," Goten said happily when he heard that Goku and Vegeta fused. Goku and Vegeta also heard what they said. Goku said it was no problem, but Vegeta said directly, "If you want me to fuse with Kakarot, I might as well die." Gohan stepped forward and said, "Otomoto, you should still be able to stand up. Let's try to fuse." "Gohan." Otomoto looked at Son Gohan's determined eyes and said, "Ah. The fusion of the two of us is not inferior to that of Dad and the others." Otomote stood up and then stood parallel to Gohan. "Gohan, my strength cannot reach its maximum right now. Now you have to cooperate with me. We only have one chance, and we must not fail. Understand?" After saying that, the two began to explode in anger, and after a while, their breaths were in sync. Then the fusion begins. Fusion. X2. The two of them made moves and shouted fusion. There was a flash of light, and the two people's first fusion was successful. Goku and Vegeta stopped attacking Enyudo, who also looked over here and asked, "What's going on? Why can you also fuse?" "Fusion? Wrong, this is fusion." The light dissipated, and a figure wearing the clothes of the Medem people appeared inside. "Fusion, fusion. That's right, I am the super warrior formed by the fusion of Son Gohan and Otomoto, Gohan Moto. Don't criticize the name. At first, I didn't expect Gohan and Otomoto to fuse, so I didn't even think of a name. Okay, let me enumerate your sins. The two-color weirdo next door said, I'm suing you for copyright infringement. Wait, what are you talking about? They're all from Dongying. Oh, that's fine. What did you say? My sins? Ha 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 ha, everything I did was for the glory of the Science. I am not guilty at all. I am the god of the Science. Ha 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 ha. Okay, let me see what you can do as a god. After saying that, Gohan Mat immediately took a stance. Chapter 40. Gohan Mat instantly appeared in front of the giant ape Enyeto and punched him on the chin. Enyeto was actually knocked away, and Gohan Mat went straight to Enyeto's back and kicked him again. Gohan Mort hit Enyeto from all angles, causing Enyeto to be unable to come down or go up. Do you know the shadow step? Hitting from all tricky angles, causing the opponent to be completely invisible from his perspective, thus forming a floating state. Finally, Gohan Mat came directly in front of Enyeto and kicked him directly in the stomach. Enyeto fell heavily onto the sea. What's wrong? Aren't you the god of the Science? You're just a weakling. Gohan Mat taunted. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! I'm going to kill you! Enyeto gathered his breath in his mouth and then fired a mouth cannon at Gohan Mat. Seeing this, Gohan Mat didn't dodge and kicked mouth cannon directly. Enyeto's mouth cannon was forcibly changed in direction by Gohan Mat's attack. This level of attack can't defeat me. In this case, I will show you what true strength is. Ha! Gohan Mat immediately began to raise his aura. Ha! Fourth tone. Gohan Mat roared, and the whole sky became as bright as dawn. Gohan Mat had turned into a Super Saiyan. This is my strength. Come on, I'm waiting. God! Fuck, bastard! Enyeto roared and attacked Gohan Mat. Gohan Mat dodged all of Enyeto's attacks, instantly appeared behind Enyeto, then grabbed Enyeto's tail and swung it hard. Enyeto's huge figure drew an arc in the sky and then fell directly on an island. Your body is too huge. Although your strength has increased tenfold, your speed is too slow, and you have many flaws. Asshole, don't tell me what to do. I'm a god. I'm the strongest. The strength you gain through drugs is not your own after all. It's like a plastic bag and a bucket. Both contain about the same amount of water, but people use buckets more often than plastic bags because buckets are better quality than plastic bags. Impossible, what you said is all nonsense. I am right. As long as I can become stronger, I don't care what it is. Gohan Mat shook his head and then proceeded to launch a full-scale attack on Ahudo. Finally, with Enyeto already dying, Gohan Mat asked directly, how can we solve the defects of artificial science? Ha 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 ha, I won't tell you, just wait to die. Gohan Mat simply cut off Enyeto's tail, and Enyeto changed back in front of the naked eye. At this time, Enyeto no longer had the vigor and vitality he had before. He was covered with scars and looked miserable. Just as Gohan Mat was about to deliver the final blow to Ahudo, their fusion was suddenly dissolved. Krillin asked in shock, Goku, what's going on? Isn't it less than 30 minutes? Why did we separate so quickly? It should be the same situation as Goten and the others. The aura increased too quickly, resulting in a shortened fusion time. When Enyeto saw the two men separated, he kicked each of them. The two were caught off guard by Enyeto. When Enyeto saw that the two were far away from him, he took out a bottle of potion from his arms. Luckily I saved a bottle in advance. Go to hell, all of you. After saying that, Enyeto took the last bottle of medicine. Then, under the shocked gazes of several people, the body expanded again. Enyeto slowly raised his head. Otomoto and Gohan were closest to him and saw that Enyeto's pupils had turned white. Ah! Enyeto roared, and he went into a frenzy, completely losing consciousness. Then, Enyeto came directly in front of Gohan and knocked him out when he was caught off guard. Everything happened so fast that no one in Otomoto could react, including Goku. After knocking Gohan unconscious, Enyeto changed his target to Otomoto. Otomoto held on, and then began to fight with Enyeto. But it was of no use at all, Otomoto was killed instantly by Enyeto in one move. Just as Goku was about to step forward, Otomoto said directly, Dad, don't come over. This guy was born because of me. I want to solve this matter alone. Otomoto, stop being so willful. You can't deal with him. Leave this to me. Dad. That time with Majin Buu, I was too weak to help you at all. Now, I want to solve it myself. Flowers that are protected from the elements cannot grow at all. Only after being baptized by strong winds and rainstorms can they bloom into beautiful flowers. I don't want to grow up under the protection of my parents all my life. Let me be willful for once. Chapter 41. Kakarot, he's right, let him solve it himself. After hearing what Vegeta said, Goku finally agreed to Otomoto's request. After getting Goku's approval, Otomoto turned around and attacked Enyeto. At this time, Enyeto had become a guy who only knew how to destroy. Otomoto rushed forward and punched Enyeto in the abdomen. Then he hit Enyeto's chin directly with an uppercut. Enyeto was hit so hard that he was stunned for a while. Then he reacted as quickly as possible, grabbed Otomoto's foot and slammed it to the ground. A big hole was smashed directly into the ground. Otomoto struggled to get up, then transformed into a Super Saiyan and rushed towards Enyeto again. Ha 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 ha. Number 1. Enyeto let out a horrible laugh, repeating the number 1 over and over again. Otomoto directly used Kamehameha at Enyeto. Enyeto directly used his body to block it, rushed forward with Kamehameha, and punched Otomoto on the head. Otomoto was knocked away by Enyeto again, and then he got up again. In this way, Otomoto stood up again and again, fighting and failing again and again. After Enyeto knocked Otomoto away again, he suddenly spat out blood from his mouth. Enyeto gradually regained consciousness. However, after Enyeto regained consciousness, he was so angry that he yelled, "Asshole, I was almost there, why didn't I kill you? Your power is very strong, but this power is not your own. I can't be defeated by you. In that case, I will just kill you." Enyeto rushed towards Otomoto. At this point, Otomoto had already exited the Super Saiyan state and could not even stand steadily. Facing Enyeto's attack, Otomoto was completely unable to resist, but for the sake of the earth, Otomoto still rushed forward regardless of the danger. Facing Enyeto, who was stronger than himself, Otomoto was completely unable to fight back. Enyeto taunted Otomoto, "You are nothing more than a man-made product. You have no value at all. Your greatest role is to become a part of me, to make up for my flaws, and then together we can dominate the universe. You're right, I'm just an artificial scion, but I'm different from you. I have family, friends, and a master. I have everything I love around me. After you come to Earth and get my cells, you will definitely destroy the Earth. So, for the Earth, for the universe, and for everything I love, I absolutely cannot retreat." As Otomoto spoke, a red aura emanated from his body. Unlike Goku's Kaioken, this aura had a powerful vitality. It was very weak, but made people feel very comfortable. Otomoto didn't notice the changes in his body at all, and Enyeto had already gone crazy, so naturally he didn't notice either. However, Goku and Vegeta saw it clearly, and Goku asked in confusion, "Vegeta, do you know what the aura emanating from Otomoto is?" "I don't know, could it be the Super Saiyan advancement?" "Ha!" Otomoto roared angrily and then attacked Enyeto desperately. At this moment, Otomoto was calmer than before, and his strength was slowly recovering. At first, Enyeto was still able to suppress Otomoto, but Otomoto's physical defects had been repaired by the red light that was emitted. Moreover, Otomoto's strength has returned to normal levels, and is even stronger. Gradually, Enyeto went from being suppressed at the beginning to being evenly matched, and finally being directly suppressed. Although Enyeto was crazy, he was not stupid. After feeling the aura emanating from Otomoto's body, he asked in shock, "Your defect is being repaired. How did you do it?" "I don't know, and I don't want to know. Now, I just want to send you to hell." After saying this, Otomoto directly attacked Enyeto crazily. Enyeto resisted with difficulty, and suddenly, he felt powerless. It was his defect and the side effects of the medicine that caused his strength to be greatly reduced. Otomoto took advantage of this opportunity, raised his hand and fired a Kigong cannon to knock it away. Enyeto made a big crater on the ground, and Otomoto came directly in front of him, gathering the air bomb in his hands. Chapter 42. Otomoto prepared to condense the energy bomb to destroy Enyeto. After seeing Otomoto's actions, Enyeto was not afraid at all. Instead, he burst into laughter, "Ha ha ha ha, number 1, you were born to dominate the universe. I didn't expect you to betray us. You are a sinner of the Science." After hearing this, Vegeta stepped forward and said, you are just a man-made product. What qualifications do you have to call yourself a scion? Ha 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 ha, I'm not qualified? Vegeta, you are not qualified. As a noble scion, you have no intention of dominating the universe. You are a failed prince. You are not worthy of being a scion. You are wrong. The goal of the scions is not to dominate the universe. The scions only need to surpass their own limits and become stronger step by step. As for dominating the universe, that is your own idea, not ours. Otomote retorted directly. That's right. Goku and Vegeta have never had the intention of dominating the universe. Even the evil Vegeta just wanted to enjoy the fun of fighting forever. Krillin said. Enyato, as a scion, I don't want to dominate the universe. I absolutely don't believe it. Otomoto, maybe in the past there were people who wanted to dominate the universe, but now the scions have no such idea at all. Vegeta, you, a man-made product, are so tired of insulting me, the prince of the scions. Enyuchuo, you keep calling him a man-made product. Isn't he the same? He pointed his finger at Otomote. Vegeta, he's different from you. He has something you don't have. Enyato, what did you say? Vegeta, he has a heart that loves the earth and his friends. Ha 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 ha, you are all lying to me. Enyato's aura suddenly increased. Upon seeing this, Otomoto knocked him out with a single blow. Goku said, Otomoto, if you knock him out, what will you do with your flaws? Dad, he said before that my defect has been made up. I don't feel the same way as before. I should have fully recovered. I don't know what's going on, but it's great. Hey! Boy, you just transformed into Super Scions before, why did you change back so quickly? Vegeta asked directly. It may be because my defects had not been made up at that time, so the fusion with Gohan accelerated the consumption. What about him? Goku asked, pointing at Enyuchuo lying on the ground. This guy is simply a lunatic. If he is allowed to live, there is no telling how much harm he will cause. Let's just kill him. After saying that, Otomoto fired a Kigong cannon that directly scattered all of Enyato's ashes. After a great battle, everyone present was exhausted. After the battle, Goku asks Otomoto about the red aura emanating from him, and Otomoto says he doesn't know either. Because their clothes were already torn, they were scolded by Kiki when they returned home. Goten was scolded even more harshly by Chi-Chi because he ran away secretly. And Liliku, the female scion that Otomote brought back from the planet New Satara, actually scolded several people together with Chi-Chi. However, Chi-Chi was scolding Goku, Gohan, and Goten, and was planning to turn around and scold Otomoth, but she didn't expect Liliku to start scolding Otomoth. The two of them were like a married couple, and Otomoto had no way to deal with Liliku. In this battle, Otomote gained the most. Not only did he make up for his own shortcomings, but he also felt the threshold of a new realm. Otomoto's body has fully recovered, and Liliku was sent to school by Bulma to study with Gohan. As for why it was Bulma, the reason was very simple. Chi Kai's family had to support 3 scions and basically had no money. Bulma directly sponsored Chi-Chi and let Liliku go to school with the two of them. Time flies, Gohan and Videl have already confirmed their relationship, but surprisingly, Otomoto starts dating Liliku. Finally, we established a relationship while watching a movie. In a blink of an eye, time has come to the 778th year of the age of Aki. Otomoto has already married Liliku, and Gohan's wedding is being prepared. The artificial scion chapter is over, the next chapter is the God of Destruction chapter. Chapter 43. 4 years have passed since the battle with Majin Buu, and Satan won the World Peace Prize because of the Majin Buu incident. At this time, Goku was working in the fields, but this peaceful life made Goku very bored. Ah, it's so boring. I really want to practice. Goku complained. Dad. At this moment, Goten flew over with Goku's lunch. Goten. Why are you out of school so early today? Dad, today is Sunday. Really? Goku glanced at the tiller, then said to Wooten, Wooten, help me drive it. So, Goten helped Goku plow the field while Goku started to enjoy his lunch. After eating, Goku transformed directly and began to practice. The noise made by Goku's training was too loud, causing Gohan to keep looking at Goku. Without paying attention, Gohan drove the tiller directly towards the cliff. Seeing this, Goku used instant movement to lift the tiller up from under the cliff. Wooten said, Dad, why don't you discuss this with mom and practice hard? I want to, but Chi-Chi gets angry whenever I mention training, and there's nothing I can do. Besides, Otomote and Gohan are getting married, so Chi-Chi will definitely not let me train. As he spoke, Gaku began to recall what Chi-Chi said. Gaku. You said that when the world is at peace you should go back to work. Chi-Chi lectured Gaku with an angry face. Maybe the strongest person in the world is Mom. Goten also expressed helplessness, and then looked at the field that Gaku destroyed because of his training and said, Dad, Mom will be angry if the field becomes like this. Ha ha ha. Gaku laughed heartlessly. At this time, Vegeta was traveling with his family. Usually, Vegeta didn't care about these things and only cared about practicing. The reason why Vegeta did all this was because of what he promised Trunks before participating in the World Martial Arts Tournament. Trunks said it was more fun here than the amusement park. Otomote and Gohan are preparing for their wedding, and Gohan basically does everything by himself, while Otomote, on the other hand, is exactly like Gaku. After defeating Enyuto, Otomoto always wanted to practice with Gaku, but under the double pressure of Chi-Chi and Liliku, he was forced to go to school. In the Kaishin realm, God Jebet suddenly felt that several planets in the universe suddenly disappeared. After God Jebeto told all this to Old Kai was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat. Could it be that some adult has woken up? Old Kai said tremblingly. Who are you talking about? He is the one who sealed me in the Kaishin sword. His true identity is the most powerful god in the universe, the god of destruction Beerus-sama. Each universe has gods who create life and gods who destroy life. The Kaishin must carry out his mission according to strict regulations, but the god of destruction does not have to follow these rules at all. What is the motive of the god of destruction? Nothing. Lord Beerus destroys things based on his own preferences. He destroys things whenever he is unhappy. There is no rules or order at all. What? There is absolutely no violation of rules and order. Now I just hope someone doesn't anger Lord Beerus. Old ancestor, you mean? Yes, it's the scion on Earth, Son Goku. In the universe, on an unknown planet, all the chefs are working hard to prepare delicious food. After the food was served, a creature that looked like a hairless cat lay on the table and smelled it. The attendant standing by said, Lord Beerus, please pay attention to etiquette. I see. Then he picked up a cup of something he didn't know what it was and asked, what is this thing? The chef at the side was shocked and quickly replied, a plain de Cheshire from organic vegetables and sterilized beef. Alapura, pura, this name is too difficult to pronounce. After saying that, he ate it directly. The chef standing by didn't even dare to breathe. After Beerus finished eating, he said, it tastes good, the amount of salt is just right, I like it very much. The natives nearby asked with a delighted look on their faces, then our planet. Before he could finish, Beerus interrupted him and said, but there is one thing, the fat content is too high. I'll let you go this time. Just half. After saying that, he tapped the table lightly, and half of the planet suddenly exploded. Chapter 44. After Beerus destroyed half of the planet, Old Kai and God Jebet in the Kai realm sensed it at the same time. For the first time, God Jebet felt the power of the god of destruction. At this time, Gaku had already accepted the 100 million yen from Satan. At night, Gaku gave the 100 million yen to Chi-Chi, and then proposed to Chi-Chi that he wanted to go to King Kai's planet to train. Otomoto and Liliku just happened to come visit. Otomoto said directly, Dad, can I go to practice with you? After hearing this, Liliku said angrily, you're getting married soon, and you want to practice now? Don't even think about it. Can you learn from Gohan and stop being a practice maniac? Otomoto was scolded by Liliku. Seeing this, Gaku said helplessly, Otomoto, I'd better go by myself. You're getting married soon, so you'd better not go. Then, he instantly moved to King Kai's planet. When Otomote saw that Gaku had left, he had to give up the idea of practicing. Liliku asked, Mom, why did you let Dad practice? Gaku got 100 million from Satan. His family doesn't need him to work for the time being, so we might as well let him practice. Mom, can I practice as well? Forget about Gaku going, but you're getting married soon, so you absolutely can't leave. Otomoto was almost crying. After Gaku arrived at King Kai's planet, he was despised by King Kai, and then he started to practice regardless. A few days later, Otomoto and Gohan's wedding was over and Bulma's birthday was approaching. Bulma specially prepared a series of prizes for her birthday party. The birthday finally arrived, and on this day the god of destruction woke up again. In the realm of the god of destruction, Beerus was taking a bath, and Whis was reporting to Beerus a series of events that happened while Beerus was asleep. Lord Beerus, while you were asleep, Frisia destroyed planet Vegeta. Really? Actually, I don't dislike Science. What I dislike is the attitude of King Vegeta. Frisia is not a good guy either. I'll just destroy him next time I see him. Don't worry about this, Lord Beerus. Frisia has been defeated. After hearing this, Beerus was so shocked that he stood up immediately. What? Frisia was knocked down. Seeing Beerus naked, Whis blushed and said, "Oh. Lord Beerus, you." Seeing this, Beerus immediately sat down and asked, "Who defeated Frisia?" "Let me see, it seems to be a scion named Son Goku." Whis said, and directly played the clip of Namek. The person inside was Goku, who had just turned into a Super Saiyan. Beerus asked in confusion, "I remember that Scion's hair isn't black? Why is his hair golden?" It seems that a mutation has occurred. The surviving Scions call this Super Saiyan. Are there any survivors on planet Vegeta? Yes, there are still 7 Scions. By the way, Prince Vegeta is still alive. They are currently living on a planet called Earth. Except for Son Goku and Vegeta, the others are mixed blood with Earthlings, but there are 2 who are not. Oh, what's the situation with these 2 people? These 2 are artificial Scions created by the survivors when the Scions destroyed the Zivol people. Earth? I remember going there a long time ago. Those guys called dinosaurs were so rude that I just destroyed them. After Beerus finished his bath, he came to the hall and said to Whis, "When I fell asleep, I dreamed of the strongest enemy of my life. I remember his name was Super Saiyan God." Lord Beerus, what do you want to say? Don't you understand? It's a precognitive dream. But Lord Beerus's predictive dreams are never accurate. Last time he dreamed that a celebrity moved to our neighborhood, but it was all in vain. Weiss, you don't believe me, then come with me. Beerus and Whis came outside, and Beerus called out, "Prophecy Fish! Prophecy Fish! Come out!" Suddenly, a fast figure flew out. "Lord Beerus, what do you want from me?" "Prophecy Fish, I remember you said before I fell asleep that my powerful enemy would appear. I think I said that." "Weiss, look." "Then Lord Beerus, are you going to meet the Scions?" "Well, Weiss, how long does it take to get to Earth?" "About 24 minutes or so. But the Scion who defeated Frisia is currently training on King Kai's planet. Will it take that long? Then let's go to King Kai's planet first." Beerus and Whis set off for King Kai's planet together. At this time, both King Kai and King North felt Beerus's actions. Chapter 45. At this time, Goku knew nothing about the god of destruction, while King Kai and North Kai were trying their best to conceal the existence of the god of destruction. King Kai of the North suddenly felt that Beerus was coming towards his planet and was confused. When Goku saw King Kai's face, he was confused for a moment. Under Goku's questioning, King Kai told him about the god of destruction, and the warlike gene in Goku's body was ignited once again. Just when King Kai of the North was educating Goku, the god of destruction had arrived. King Kai of the North directly asked Goku to hide. Unexpectedly, Beerus asked to see Goku by name. So, after King Kai of the North let Goku out, under Beerus' questioning, Goku heard the name of Super Saiyan God, but he said he had no idea. Just as Beerus was about to leave, Goku proposed to compete with Beerus, and Beerus agreed. Unexpectedly, Goku went from Super Saiyan all the way to Super Saiyan 3 without any contact with Beerus, and was finally knocked down by Beerus with 2 moves. Beerus and Whis went to Earth. It was Bulma's birthday. King Kai of the North immediately notified Vegeta and told him a series of things about Beerus and Goku. Vegeta was shocked. In Vegeta's memory, the god of destruction Beerus is absolutely powerful, and now, Beerus is actually coming to Earth. Just as Vegeta was recalling, Beerus appeared directly in front of Vegeta. Vegeta lost all his will to fight due to fear. At this moment, Bulma came to find Vegeta, and Beerus and Whis pretended to be Vegeta's friends and started eating and drinking for free. After a series of games, every time Beerus was on the verge of getting angry, he was pulled back by Vegeta's funny words. Whis said, "Lord Beerus, it seems that your prophetic dream is wrong again this time. It seems so, go back quickly. Okay, but Lord Beerus, have you ever tried that dessert called pudding? Pudding. Yes. Beerus suddenly wanted to eat pudding, and saw that all the pudding was in Boo's hand, so he went forward to ask for it, but Bu spit all his saliva on the pudding. Boo's behavior completely angered Beerus, and he directly started the work of the god of destruction. Bu, Gohan, and Gotenks were all defeated by Beerus. Even Otomote was knocked unable to move. Vegeta was still in the shadow of his childhood. Bulma stepped forward and slapped Beerus, but was knocked to the ground by Beerus. When Vegeta saw this, he burst out with a power even more powerful than Goku's Super Saiyan 3, and directly withstood Beerus' attack to launch a strong blow to him. As a result, these attacks did not cause any damage to Beerus. Just when Beerus was about to destroy the earth completely, Goku appeared. When Beerus saw it, he said directly, "It's you." "What? Do you know Super Saiyan God?" "Don't know yet. But please give me some time, just a little." Goku pleaded. "Okay. I'll give you some time. If the Super Saiyan God doesn't appear after the time is up, I will destroy the entire earth." "No problem, thank you." Goku turned to Bulma and said, "Bulma, can you lend me the Dragon Balls? Take it and use it. You can do anything you want as long as it teaches this rude fellow a lesson." "Bulma, watch your wording. This is the most powerful god of destruction in the universe. Hey! He is actually a god. Bulma, please take out the Dragon Balls quickly. Don't keep Lord Beerus waiting anxiously." After Bulma took out the Dragon Ball, Goku directly summoned Shenron. "Shenlong, do you know Super Saiyan God? If you do, bring him here." The Super Saiyan God is a god among the Saions recorded in the mythology of Namek. It does not exist. It doesn't exist. This is really a headache. Lord Beerus wanted to find the Super Saiyan God, but he didn't expect that this god doesn't exist. What? Lord Beerus? Shenlong was shocked by Goku's words, and began to look for Beerus. "Yo!" Beerus greeted silently, and Shenlong was scared to death. When Bulma and the others saw Shenlong's expression, they believed what Goku said, because this guy really is a god. Although the Super Saiyan God does not exist, I know a way to summon him. 5 righteous Saions can inject their heart power into another Saion with a righteous heart, and the Super Saiyan God will be born. Shenlong explained the method for the birth of the Super Saiyan God, and then fled the scene at a very fast speed. Chapter 46. After Shenlong left, Goku and others began to summon the Super Saiyan God. Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks injected the breath into Goku's body. Otomote was currently unable to move, so he did not participate. But for some reason, Goku did not succeed in becoming a Super Saiyan God. Whis explained, just now Shenlong said that it would take 5 Super Saions to inject the power of the heart into another Super Saiyan, so 6 Super Saions are needed. After hearing this, Otomoto tried to stand up, but Lilico and Videl stopped him. Lilico is also a Saiyan, but she is not as skilled in using aura as Goku and others, so she will not participate in the summoning of the Super Saiyan God here. Videl said, "Actually, besides Otomoto and Lilico, there is another Saiyan, but I don't know if it's possible, but I'm sure she must be a Saiyan." After hearing this, Lilico said in surprise, "Biddy, are you pregnant too?" "Hey! Could it be that Lilico, you are also pregnancy?" Everyone was shocked when they heard what Videl and Lilico said. At this moment, after hearing this, Otomote, who was lying in Lilico's arms, suddenly felt that his injuries were healed and stood up suddenly. He looked at Lilico excitedly, "Really? So I'm going to be a father?" Gohan immediately came to Videl and said happily, "Videl, you are pregnant too." "Gohan, I also found out a while ago, but what I didn't expect was that Lilico was also pregnant." "Great!" Almost everyone gathered in front of Lilico and Videl, leaving Beerus alone. Beerus shouted directly, "Hurry up and summon the Super Saiyan God." Everyone reacted and started summoning the Super Saiyan God. Otomoto didn't have any serious injuries to begin with, and the reason he fell to the ground was entirely because of the pressure exerted on him by the god of destruction. Now, because of Lilico, Otomote was resurrected with full health and summoned the Super Saiyan God together with Goku and others. Just when he succeeded, Otomote once again emitted the red aura that he had used during the battle against Enyuto, but it was so faint that almost no one could see it. But Whis noticed this with his sharp eyes, because the aura emanating from Otomote was exactly the aura of God. Goku successfully transformed into a Super Saiyan God. His hair and pupils turned red, and his body became a little thinner. There was no sense of aura on his body, but he could feel an overwhelming pressure. Beerus stepped forward and said, after waiting for so long, the result finally came. Now, let me show you how powerful I am as a Super Saiyan God. Goku started fighting with Beerus directly. At this time, Goku was completely different from when he was on King Kai's planet. He could basically take on Beerus' attacks head-on. The two fought directly from the ship to the sky. Goku's attack expressed strong dissatisfaction, and Beerus also felt it, so he asked directly, "What's wrong? Becoming a god seems to make you very disappointed." "That's not the case. I just didn't expect there was such a realm. This is a realm that I can't reach alone. It hurts my self-esteem. The Scion's petty egos are such a nuisance. Vegeta's self-esteem is stronger than mine, but he can put aside his self-esteem and be funny for the sake of the earth, so I can do the same. It seems that you are very dissatisfied with the power you have gained in this way." "That's right, I'm very dissatisfied," Goku said, and attacked Beerus directly. "In that case, then use this power to fight me in a battle between gods." After saying that, Beerus directly faced Goku's attack. An ordinary punch from the two men caused the dark clouds in the sky to dissipate. The people on the tanker followed the two men in a flying vehicle. In the Kaishan realm, the old Kaishan said in fear, "It's bad. If the two of them collide twice more, the entire universe will be destroyed by their attacks." God Jepitel instantly teleported to Namek and took the Dragon Balls back in case of emergency. Just as Goku and Beerus collided again, the entire universe trembled. Old Kai prayed in his heart that the two would not collide again, but the opposite happened and the two collided again. This time, the universe did not tremble like it did during the second collision, and Old Kai was very curious. It turned out that Goku used the same power as Beerus to collide with Beerus, and the two identical forces cancelled each other out, and the entire universe was saved. Chapter 47. At this time, Goku and Beerus have come to the wilderness. Every attack of Goku expresses his dissatisfaction. Beerus asked, "Are you still unhappy about becoming a god?" Goku punched out and said, "Yes." Beerus took Goku's punch, and the air waves generated by the fight between the two caused powerful damage to the area within dozens of miles. While fighting with Goku, Beerus said, "Your pride will become your weakness." Then he jumped up and gave Goku a spinning kick in the face. Goku was kicked away, and then Beerus knocked Goku into a lake. The powerful attack split the lake into two. Beerus chased after him and said, "What a boring pride. It's rare to find a Scion who would be so obsessed with such things." At this time, Vegeta and his group came to the battlefield between Goku and Beerus, and everyone was surprised at the destructive power of the two. During their battle, the two came to an underground lake, and Goku said, "It's not entirely true. Vegeta's self-esteem is much stronger than mine. Come to think of it, he just threw away his dignity to make a fool of himself. I know that he is willing to sacrifice his dignity as a prince for the sake of comedy. Even I have some respect for him. So you also gave up your dignity and became a god in this way?" "Yes." At this time, the people in the sky couldn't hear the conversation between the two. Piccolo said, "It seems like Goku is receiving training." In the underground lake, Beerus said, "Come to think of it, I am also dissatisfied. Why? I haven't fought with all my strength yet." Really? I've already used 80% of my strength." 80%? Beerus was stunned, then said angrily, "Then can you keep up with my speed?" After saying that, Beerus rushed directly towards Goku and attacked him at the fastest speed. Goku was completely unable to keep up with Beerus' speed and was forced to defend himself. Beerus taunted as he fought, "What's the matter? Is this all you can do?" Goku rushed straight towards Beerus and replied, "This is my real ability." Just as Goku rushed forward, the red aura representing God on his body had disappeared, and Goku had already exited the state of Super Saiyan God. When Beerus saw Goku rushing towards him, he counterattacked directly. Goku was beaten back by Beerus before he could even touch him. Beerus attacked Goku directly, and Goku used instant movement and attacked Beerus from behind. Beerus was directly attacked by Goku. Goku tried the same trick again, but Beerus dodged it. Beerus then fired numerous key bullets directly at Goku, who dodged them all. Then, Goku came directly behind Beerus and hit him hard. Beerus was so angry that he fired energy bullets in all directions without blind spots. The entire underground lake was destroyed by Beerus, and Gaku was directly buried by the falling rubble. Suddenly, Gaku roared, "Don't let me enjoy the pleasure of destruction." Then he transformed into a Super Saiyan, and the powerful air wave blew away all the rubble around Gaku. Then he and Beerus rushed out from the underground lake. Sharp-eyed Piccolo saw Goku's current state and said directly, "Oh no, he is no longer a god, Gaku has turned back into an ordinary Super Saiyan." In the sky, two rays of light, one purple and one gold, kept colliding with each other. Although Gaku had already exited the state of God at this time, he could still compete with the god of destruction. The two fought until they reached the atmosphere, and Beerus fired a destructive bomb directly at Gaku. The size of that destructive bomb was comparable to that of an asteroid, and Gaku took it forcefully. Beerus said, "It seems that you haven't realized that the time limit for Super Saiyan God has long passed." Gaku looked around his body and said, "But I don't feel like I've gotten weaker at all. It seems that when you transformed into a Super Saiyan God and fought, your body absorbed this feeling, so even if you transformed back to your original form, your fighting power did not decrease much. I have to say that you are really a fighting genius. Then I'm really happy." "Then be happy. Isn't this your long-cherished wish?" Chapter 48. Gaku held on to Beerus's destructive bomb, and gradually, Gaku couldn't hold on any longer, and Beerus shot a beam of light directly from his fingers. Gaku slipped out of his hand and fell from the sky. Just when Gaku was about to despair, the breath of God was beating in Goku's body. Suddenly, Gaku destroyed the destruction bomb directly and appeared in front of Beerus. After seeing Gaku, Beerus praised him generously, "You are very strong. You made me use 60% of my strength. You are second to none among all the people I have fought." Gaku smiled bitterly and said, "What? I'm not number one. In fact, there are 12 gods of destruction, and our universe is the 7th. Hey! There are 11 people as powerful as you. Let me tell you one more thing. Weiss over there is not only my follower, he is also my master." Their eyes turned to Weiss, who was eating sushi. Seeing this, Weiss hid the sushi in his hand. Gaku said in shock, "Then the number one in the universe is Mr. Weiss. I'm so unwilling. I didn't expect the universe to be so big." As Gaku said this, he fell directly from the sky. Beerus stepped forward and grabbed Goku's hand, then slowly descended. Everyone saw several people coming down and then stepped forward. Beerus gathered energy in his hands and said, "Then I will fulfill my promise and destroy the earth." Then, it shot a beam of light directly at the stone nearby. Oops! I didn't expect my power to become so weak. It seems that I can't destroy the earth this time. I'll let you go. Everyone knew that Beerus was draining the water, and they were all very grateful to Beerus. Bulma stepped forward and said, "Thank you so much, Lord Beerus. Next time, I will prepare a swimming pool pudding for you. But don't think it's unpalatable. If it doesn't taste good, I'll destroy the earth." Beerus said with a smile. Everyone was terrified, and suddenly, a snoring sound was heard. Everyone looked and saw that it was Beerus who had fallen asleep. Whis said directly, "It has been many years since I last exercised. Lord Beerus is now tired. Please excuse us and let us leave first." After saying that, Whis took Beerus and left the earth. In space, Beerus woke up and said to Whis, "This time we have gained a lot. Lord Beerus, Son Goku is very talented." "Yes, Son Goku can be called a genius in combat. Lord Beerus, that artificial Scion's talent is probably even higher than Son Goku's." "What did you say? The son of Son Goku?" "Yes, when he summoned the Super Saiyan God, I saw a faint aura of God floating on his body. It didn't seem like he was absorbing the power of other Scions, but more like it was lurking in his body. This time it was because Son Goku became a Super Saiyan God and resonated with the aura on his body. Otherwise, that aura probably wouldn't have appeared." "Really? It seems like Son Goku is not the only one who gained this time." On Earth, Gaku was starving after a long battle. Chi-Chi prepared some food for him, and Gaku ate it heartily. Vegeta was looking at the sky, wondering what he was thinking. Gaku walked up to him and said, "Vegeta, what are you doing?" "Kakarot, I let you take the lead this time, but I will definitely surpass you with my own strength. No matter if it's the god of destruction or any other god, I will surpass everything with my own strength." "Hee. Vegeta, you've already surpassed me, haven't you?" When Lord Beerus slapped Bulma, you just yelled my Bulma, which really shocked me. Vegeta blushed, and suddenly seemed to think of something, and said to Goku, you used teleportation to come here a long time ago, and then watched us fight the god of destruction, right? Hey! Goku's face tightened, and Oolong jumped directly onto Goku's head and attacked him. Goku yelled for help, while Otomoto and Gohan complained, Dad, you've already arrived, why didn't you come out earlier? Videl and Lilico are both pregnant, what if the baby gets hurt? Chi-Chi was also watching Goku being bullied. In the God of Destruction realm, Beerus eats the food that Whis packed from Bulma's birthday party. When Whis went to get the soy sauce, Beerus directly ate a large piece of wasabi, and then went crazy and destroyed the surrounding asteroids. Whis went forward and knocked Beerus unconscious. Chapter 49. Since the battle between Goku and the God of Destruction ended, the Earth has once again ushered in peace. After seeing the scene when Goku and the God of Destruction fought, Vegeta felt very unwilling and practiced hard every day. On this day, Whis came to Earth. Ever since the battle between Goku and Beerus, Whis has been deeply attracted by the delicious food on Earth and comes to Earth almost every few days. Vegeta had just finished his training, and as soon as he went out, he saw Whis and Bulma going to eat. Vegeta remembered that Goku had told him that Whis was Beerus's master, so he came up with the idea of becoming his apprentice. After a series of operations, Vegeta successfully became Bulma's apprentice by using her instant noodles. Otomoto was training on King Kai's planet at this time. With the help of the learning chip, Otomoto learned the King Kai Ken in just 3 days. Perhaps because of the blessing of the divine energy, Otomoto could directly use the King Kai Ken with 5 times the power without any damage. After returning to Earth, Otomoto asked Goku to teach him how to teleport. Because of Goku's personality, Otomoto had a lot of effort to learn it. A few months passed like this. Lilico and Videl gave birth to 2 children, a boy and a girl, and Gohan completely abandoned his martial arts. On this day, Gohan had just got off work, and he went to play with Xiao Fang and Noodles, Otomat's son, with Satan and Otomat. As a result, several of them threw the children into the air, and this scene was seen by Chi-Chi, so the 3 were forbidden to approach the children. Gohan simply called for help. At this time, Krillin had become a traffic policeman and was issuing a ticket to Bulma. After receiving Gohan's call, the 2 of them went to Gohan's house together. Goten brought over Goku who was working. Several people discussed how to get Chi-Chi to let them get close to the child. Bulma knocked on the door and was then pulled directly over by Chi-Chi. In the living room, Chi-Chi, Videl, Bulma, and Lilico were discussing the future of their 2 children. Bulma mentioned that Vegeta had gone to practice with Whis a few months ago. After hearing this, Goku rushed out and said, "What? Vegeta and Whis are practicing?" After hearing the news, Goku broke through the wall of Gohan's house, and this action directly angered Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi scolded Goku, and Goku had no choice but to repair the wall. Otomoto was not as impatient as Goku, but when he heard that Vegeta and Whis had gone to practice, he couldn't help but ask, "Did Uncle Vegeta really go to practice with Whis?" "Yeah. I went there a few months ago." "So when is Whis coming?" When Lilico heard Otomoto's question, she immediately understood what Otomoto was thinking. She went up to him and pulled his ear, then said angrily, "Can you learn from Gohan and work hard? Don't think about training all day long. It hurts, Lilico, please let go, I won't go anymore, I won't go anymore." There was no way out, Otomoto completely succumbed to Lilico's tyranny. After this little episode, Goku looked for Bulma for several days, all the time asking if Whis had arrived. Finally, Bulma couldn't stand it anymore and gave Goku a cell phone, saying that she would call him when Whis arrived. Only then did Goku stop. Otomoto has been thinking about practicing at home, but Lilico has been controlling him. One day, Otomoto came to find Goku, intending to practice secretly with Goku, but he unexpectedly ran into Goku who was going to destroy the God realm. So he proposed to go with Goku, or else he would tell Chi-Chi that Goku had no choice but to take Otomoto with him. The 2 came to the capsule company, where Whis was eating hot pot with Bulma. After hearing their request, Whis agreed immediately. Some time later, when Whis was about to leave with the 2 of them, Gohan flew over with Chi-Chi and Lilico. When Whis was about to leave, Goku hugged Whis directly, and Otomoto grabbed Goku's feet and left the earth. When Kiki and Lilico saw the 2 leave, they sighed and said forget it. Bulma stepped forward and asked, "Didn't you always dislike them both going to practice? Why do you think it doesn't matter? I know Goku can't stay idle, but if Goku likes me, I can't stop him, so just let him be. Otomoto is different from my father. He should be able to explain it to me. Liliku said. Chapter 50. Goku's Otomoto followed Whis to the world of destruction. On the way, Goku suddenly wanted to go to the toilet, and Whis said directly, "It is very immoral to pee while flying, you'd better bear it." Otomoto said, Mr. Weiss, can you help me contact Liliku? Okay, but only after we get there. Thank you, Mr. Weiss. The two of them came to the realm of destruction with Whis. Vegeta had been waiting for Whis early in the morning, but what Vegeta didn't expect was that Goku and Otomoto also followed them. Vegeta was surprised when he saw Goku. Kakarot. Why are you here? How dare you say that, Vegeta? Weren't you here first? Humph, speaking of which, boy, why are you here too? I was too idle at home, and finally found a place where I could practice, so I came here with my dad. Otomote said, touching the back of his head. Okay, let's talk about it later. By the way, Goku, don't you need to go to the bathroom? Whis said. Goku reacted immediately and found a random place. After seeing Goku's behavior, Vegeta said to Goku angrily, "Don't urinate or defecate anywhere, the toilet is over here." Otomote, come with me, I will help you contact your wife. Weiss said to Otomote. So, Goku and Vegeta went to help Whis with the housework, while Otomoto started chatting on the phone with Liliku. Goku and Vegeta took a lot of effort to help Beerus change the quilt and sheets, and then started a series of housekeeping services. After Liliku got in touch with Otomoto, she spoke like a flood and scolded Otomoto for a long time, so Otomoto avoided being a housekeeper. After going around in circles, they finally began their formal practice. While Goku and Vegeta trained together, Otomoto's training method is completely different from the other two. Vegeta was surprised, I didn't expect this kid could actually spar with Whis. I've never had that experience in all the time I've been here. Whis explained, he has great potential within him. Ordinary training cannot develop that power, so I plan to develop the power within him. By then, his power will probably not be weaker than Goku in the Super Saiyan God state. Goku and Vegeta were both shocked by Whis' words, and then started training with full enthusiasm. Neither of them wanted to be surpassed by a junior. Otomoto was brought to a meadow by Weiss, and then Weiss said, "You should be able to feel the power in your body. I felt it once 3 years ago, but I haven't felt it since. That is the power of the Super Saiyan God, and it is fundamentally different from the Super Saiyan God that Goku transformed into. Goku's requires feeling the breath of God, while yours is the breath of God that is born directly from yourself. The two are very similar, but also somewhat different. The power of God. I'm going to channel all your strength now, so just attack me with all your strength. But the prerequisite is that you can't transform into a Super Saiyan. Okay, then watch this." Otomoto attacked Weiss. 2 months passed like this, and on the second day Goku and Vegeta practiced against Whis together with Otomoth. Gradually, they all entered the realm of God, but Otomoth's realm of God was somewhat different from that of Goku and Vegeta. While several people were practicing, Otomoto was forcibly called back by Liliku, so in the realm of the God of Destruction only Goku and Vegeta were left practicing with Whis. After Otomote returned to Earth, Piccolo and Otomote said, "Someone used the Dragon Balls not long after you left. Gohan didn't take it seriously, so I came to tell you to be careful." "I understand. I am very strong now. No matter what the enemy is, just leave it to me. It's better to be careful." 2 months later, a spaceship landed in Capsule Corporation, and it was the Galactic Patrolman Jack. Jack brought a piece of news that the former Emperor of the Universe, Frieza, has been resurrected and will arrive on Earth in about an hour. Bulma directly notified the Z-Warriors, and everyone came to the place where Frieza landed and began to stop Frieza. At this time, Gohan had completely abandoned martial arts, and even his transformation into a Super Saiyan was difficult.